At Sleep Outfitters Outlet, great sleep is a big deal. Save 40 to 60% every day on every Sealy, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic. Queens as low as $249. Customer exchanges, closeouts, and floor samples. Inventory changes daily, so come in for your dream deal today. With no credit needed financing, expert advice, and up to 60% off retail, it's never been easier to get the sleep and savings you deserve. Go to sleepoutfittersoutlet.com for financing details and to find a store near you.
Hello,
and welcome to BB on Blast
CBBUS3
finale edition.
Woo! Oh, we should have had some, magical music.
Oh yeah,
shouldn't we?
We should have had Sonia's crowd in. Oh, let's get the crowd.
Come on.
I'm Gaz.
I'm Lindsay.
And I'm looking for crowd noise.
Oh, there was
no. It's going to be an advert.
There was no crowd there, though, was there?
No, they didn't even have the audacity to pipe a fake crowd in. Get with it. Big Brother Australia will lend you their recording.
I don't see why the jury can be there, but the friends and family can't be there.
Oh. Sounds more like a...
sounds like someone's coming to kick my head in. Don't you?
Sounds more like we're in a conference.
It's football.
You join us at the BB Plus Conference 2022.
We finally got invited to that Big Brother conference.
That's my whooping and hollering.
Marshall the Moose's head is lying on the floor. There's some old wall competition.
Oh, here you go. This is the finale
that's
atmosphere. This is like the football.
Woo! God, it does remind me of the BBAU finale. Gaz just showed me a picture of Luke Toki, obviously doctored to look fat, and said, "Is this real?" That's what goes on behind the scenes.
Well, if you think about that, BB VIP was filmed a long time ago. He could have ballooned.
Spent all that money on donuts.
You know, the house ages you. Just look at Todd Bridges.
We'll come. Let's not waste time on that brilliant goal. We'll save that for later.
Right, what are we doing tonight?
Let's talk about... Well, we're going to cover the past few episodes like we always do in nauseating detail. Until you're so annoyed that you don't even get to the end of the episode. We should have checked the statistics to see how we did last week.
Oh, what?
You know.
On the ad revenue or...
No, well, we know how we did on that, less than fuck all. We should have seen if anyone actually bothered to listen to the episode with Dan on. You think he'd be a draw at least, even if we weren't.
I barely promoted him, so...
Yeah, did we not at him? Maybe you didn't want to...
No, well, I thought it was an invasion of his privacy. So.
Maybe you wanted the airtime. So, what did you think of the finale overall?
I mean... Let's be honest, the show died on its arse when Carson left. But then the finale, it was like, I was like, yes! I was like, this is what I was waiting for. I didn't realise it was going to get good. But it got so fucking good.
Yeah.
Like, it was lit. I couldn't believe that finale.
It was satisfying, wasn't it?
I loved it. Honestly, I skipped through half of that finale, though. That's probably why it's so good.
Yeah.
But the jury was worth watching the season for.
But didn't you feel we missed, because it was a short finale, having like the jury, the bit where the jury asked questions, because those questions would have been good. And they do like...
They should have done that, It
annoys me, because they did like 2-hour episode the day before, which we didn't need.
No.
And I didn't really want a 2-hour finale, but even an hour and a half, so you could get the jury questions. They have so much filler on that show.
Do you know what? This is the thing. But actually, and another thing, the jury questions would be even better for them having seen the show.
Oh, that'd be brilliant.
Because they've got the receipts. They'd
Behind
be like, I saw
curtain.
this. I saw you say that.
Yeah.
Behind the curtain, exactly. Shout out to Teddy.
That was so fucking good when she said
Teddy
that.
Did good.
That was so beautiful when she said that. It was just like the perfect bitchy, just clever. It was just everything.
I need to know who, apart from... How do people know Todrick's a fan of The Wizard of Oz? He's done a video on it.
Let me tell you. He was going to spend his $250,000 prize money, minus taxes, on a Wizard of Oz piece of memorabilia. He's already got the ruby slippers. No. And he was going to get... I don't know what the fucking thing it was. That's what he was going to spend the fucking money on. So fuck him. Wow. So for her to throw that back in his face... And you didn't win it, and so you didn't win it, and you're not getting that, and you're going to hate the Wizard of Oz forever now because this hurt you. So it was like perfect in every way.
Aren't those ruby slippers as old maiden shoes type of shoes?
No, well, sort of. But I'm sure he's not wearing them. He's probably got them in
It's
a box.
Tiffany Pollard reference. It's
Oh.
old maiden shoes.
When you said Tiffany, I thought Tiffany from the Cookout's probably at Todrick's house fucking polishing them for him. Fucking waiting for his return.
Welcome home, sire.
I was telling Jack about the Cookout still. You know, some of the Cookout is still at his fucking house
They're
now.
not.
And Jack was like, don't they have...
Cookout stayed welcome.
Nice.
Jesus.
Jack was like, don't they have jobs to go to? I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
Tiffany used to be a phlebotomist.
Oh,
I don't know
yeah.
what the fuck she is now. Todrick's bloody
People still waiting for
keeper.
their bloods to be done. Whoever that is.
Oh,
You asking today about whether Cookout are like still on side with Todrick.
Yeah, I
And
wanna know.
Alfie Sheldon told us that there's been some defence of Todrick.
yeah,
but
no, they all. I heard Hannah Chadder on a podcast, on Robert's
Hannah
podcast, and she was being very pro Todrick because she was at fucking Todrick's fucking house. I'm going to be
Should
pro
be
my.
out on her ear.
I'm going to be pro my landlord as well. Keep him sweet, innit? Think on. They don't honestly believe like his behaviour is acceptable. They're just like so far in now that to come out looks sus.
Do you know what I've found kind of interesting is that I had heard
We are drinking tonight, by the way,
We are
listeners,
drinking.
just to reassure you.
I'd heard through the grapevine
Sorry to interrupt.
that Todrick like has had shit come out about him, about not paying his dancers.
Yeah.
But then
What about the homeless
well,
person?
I didn't
Sorry.
really want to
Sorry.
drudge it up because I think we were in agreement that we shouldn't really like dredge up this shit from the past.
No.
But I couldn't see beyond that video. If you know about the video with the homeless person, you know about it. I don't feel like I need to go into the details unless you want.
He's mocking a homeless person.
Yeah, and from after seeing that, and I know that maybe it was a long time ago and people change.
Would
et cetera,
you
et
have ever
cetera.
done that? That's
No,
just
of course
ask.
not.
That's the simple answer. Would you have ever done that? No. Okay,
Yeah,
fuck
but
you
we
then.
must be very careful cancel culture, especially with our finalists. You know,
The woke mob.
I couldn't see beyond that.
No. Oof, good.
I just couldn't. And every time I looked at him post that, I found it very hard to just like listen to him and
Now listen.
like just kind of.
It ain't just that, is it?
I wanted to just banish him out of my sight. It's just like everything he said. I just wanted to go fuck off, Todrick.
Yeah. Oh, especially all his like, oh, I want to do this for black people and blah, 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 all that fucking bollocks that he was talking. When he's the one who's always bringing up other people's race and bringing up people's sexuality. He's kind of like took what the Cookout did, which was brilliant, and sort of made it, tarnished it. Do you know what I mean?
He's like the Trump of America, like the reality TV world.
Yeah.
Like he's capitalized on it,
Yeah.
but turned it bad. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like when he was saying about how he wanted to like make musicals and
Trump is from the reality TV world. So it's like I don't know what I'm trying to say.
when he was saying he wants to like do a musical and have like black characters and gay characters and that, he was acting like he's the first person.
Well, I
who's
was
ever...
like, oh, this would be amazing if only Disney hadn't already done
yeah,
it.
it's like that shit's been done like what 10, 15 years ago, and he's acting like
He's
that's a
talking
new
about the
thing.
Cinderella one. Do you not know about the Brandy Cinderella? Do you know about that?
No.
There's a Disney Cinderella.
Yeah.
Not to say that this, makes
No.
proves there's
No.
equal representation
Yeah.
because we know there ain't. But there's a old Disney Cinderella film where Brandy is Cinderella and the fairy godmother is Whitney.
Oh.
So like. Even the point of Cinderella, Cinderella's always this blonde person. It was kind of redundant because Disney threw out the rulebook on that many moons ago, and everyone knows that the next Ariel is a black Ariel.
Is that...
But I guess you say, obviously you can prove that the work isn't done because there was a whole uproar.
No, and of course the work is not done. No, I'm not saying that for a minute. But he's acting like he's the first
He's a star,
person that
yeah.
ever thought of this shit. It's like...
Well, I'll tell you what,
Shut
I
up.
heard Judy Gawp talking about Todrick, saying that he always capitalises on other people's work.
I heard
And
that.
it was very interesting
Yeah.
because he's actually piggybacking on the Cookout. And when he got to the final, he started to use the Cookout narrative, having not played with the values of the Cookout whatsoever. He could have gone in as basically a satellite to the Cookout
Yeah.
/ their landlord.
Yeah.
And created the celebrity Cookout. Why not just
Yeah.
continue the legacy
Yeah.
if you're going to be part of the
Yeah.
Cookout?
And then he goes, oh, in his final speech, like, oh, I'm so glad 4 black people like made it to the... It's like,
Not
that was
so- you
purely
didn't
by
want
accident.
them there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was complete accident. Don't pretend like you had a hand in that. That was just like, as Lamar would say, the chips fell where they may. It's just like, he's trying to like reverse engineer this stuff that he like made it all happen. It's like, no, that never happened. Another thing I heard on Rob as a podcast, I'm listening to the one where Chris Kattan left. That's how far back I am. Yeah. They said Todrick has this thing about always coming second. He feels like he always comes second in everything he does. Oh. Apparently he came second in The Masked Singer as well. Spoiler alert.
I didn't know he was on that.
Yeah, and lo and behold, he come fucking second again. Yeah. Don't you think that's funny? Always the bridesmaid.
I mean, I wouldn't have thought he came second on American Idol. Wasn't he on American Idol?
Oh, I don't know, was he?
Was he just the choreographer on that or something?
Oh, no idea.
We don't know. But
it's
anyway.
funny, though, hearing them say that. I was thinking, oh, the irony.
Bit of a pull, right?
What?
Bit of a pull.
Yeah.
Always going second.
Yeah, it's good.
He's not going to come back and...
Oh,
wait,
God.
Did Paul win? He did, right?
No, Paul came second twice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. God, Gaz knows about that era of Big Brother.
Well, very vaguely.
By the way, Jack is coming for your job. Jack is obsessed with old American Big Brother at the moment.
Oh,
he's
well,
like,
if you guys want to podcast
he's
that.
like, how can Gaz podcast about this show when he doesn't know about the history, doesn't know about the greats?
Oh, and he's welcome to podcast the old stuff because I ain't got time.
He's like, what does he think when you like mention these old names on the podcast? I'm like, he just ignores it most of the time.
Well, I sort of know some of it through osmosis.
Exactly.
By now.
It's just like... he thinks you have no respect for the game, quite frankly.
Well, quite frankly, I don't. So he's right. I basically tweeted that I believe that Julie should be replaced and that next season we should speed everything up by 10 times.
That went down a bit sour, didn't it?
People don't like it when you come for Julie. There's a few diehards out there.
Most people fucking love it when you come for Julie. Something's leaking in my bag.
Oh, God, that's not good.
Got something wet in there.
Oh
no. What is it,
good
listeners?
Luck with that. Somebody tweeted me, said that I must be a God hater because I'd said that and to let Julie live.
To be fair, he's gay, so he is.
No, God hates me.
Yeah. The feeling's mutual.
And at no point did I say that Julie should be like shot at the post. Like, no.
Well, that's the next step, but...
No, it's not. I'm not incite violence against Julie Chen. Yeah, let Julie live. I am letting her live. I just want someone else to present the show.
I feel like we've derailed, like we're on a topic and now we've just gone off it. But that's fine.
Off topic is the subtitle of BB on Blast. Finale, Todrick, what else do you want to say?
Oh, well, we're going to come to it, aren't we? But those are the main headlines, aren't they? Oh, what about Shayna's boyfriend?
Well, it's a very personal matter, but...
Not when it's on fucking Instagram,
okay. He seems like he's got an absolute screw loose. No?
I only watched 2 minutes of it, thank God.
Well, he was calling her a whore.
Well, I hope she doesn't go back to it. That's all I
Well,
hope.
he's been arrested, is he not?
Yeah, but so what? People go back after that.
Yeah. Well, hopefully not. But he accused her, apparently, of flirting with Lamar.
As if. Do you know what I mean? Oh, he's obviously...
That's fragile masculinity, isn't it? Like, there's a tall man there.
Yeah.
You must be flirting with him.
No, he's the sort of person, like, if you're in the room with a man, you're flirting with him kind of thing. That was horrible. Was that just before the finale that happened, or was that the day of the finale that happened?
It was yesterday in real life, so after the finale.
Oh, I see. Oh, God, that's awful. And she got robbed on America's Favourite Day.
But Carson
I
deserved
was happy for Carson, to be honest.
Good top three, that was the right top three for America's Favourite Player. Did you hear about Teddy, what's the name? Mein Kampf or something?
That's Hitler's autobiography. Probably best not to mention that at the moment.
Mein Kampf, isn't it? Teddy Mein Kampf. Is that not in it?
Teddy Mellencamp.
Oh, Mellencamp. Sorry.
I wonder if we can work that into a title somehow. Probably not.
Did you hear about what she put on her Instagram? She'd seen like...
Was it a Nazi salute?
No. Shout out Tequila. It was that she'd found like a poll on some like unofficial Big Brother website for America's Favourite Player.
Oh yeah.
And like at the time she looked like she was like second or third, and she was like, "Oh, I really need everyone
How
to go."
many people have voted?
Oh, fuck knows.
Sorry.
She's like, "I really need people to go on and vote for me because like we could really turn this around and like I could win America's Favourite Player." And she put the link in the post, and it was just like BigBrotherWeb.weebly.com or some shit like that.
No.
Poor girl. That's embarrassing, isn't it?
Oh, bless her. Oh, that's really... Yeah, but she's got that final thing that she said when she put the key in.
Oh,
So let's forget about
legacy.
that.
Legend. Queen.
We'll overlook her Nazi roots and bad knowledge of the internet and just go with her final words. Do you want me to tell you some behind the scenes?
Behind the curtain?
It's old though.
Is it behind the curtain? I want to know.
It's.
Hit me with it.
Oh, I've got something about Mariah. That's how old my
I
podcast
love
listening is.
Mariah.
Mariah was upset. I must have
shit.
heard this on a podcast. Oh yeah, and Todd Bridges said to her, "Oh, you should pray." And she said to him, "I'm agnostic."
Yeah.
And he said to her, "It's never too late."
No.
And I've written, "Fuck off." That's not what you want to hear when you're. Although Julie would enjoy it.
Yeah.
That is not what you want to hear, is
We're all
it?
children of God.
I'm agnostic. It's never too late. Go. Imagine being stuck in a house or something like that. I would be very, very firm with someone like that if they started that shit.
It's I don't know. I guess it's like a two-way street. I feel like we're quite dismissive of like.
I'm not.
Christianity.
I respect other people's beliefs, but I don't want to fucking hear about
Yeah.
it. If you want to do, you can fucking be into tarot cards or horoscopes, whatever the fuck you want. I don't give a fuck. Just don't talk to me
Courtney
about
Lovers,
it.
I've heard.
Yeah, she's fucking nuts.
Do you know, I listened to the podcast, a very old one actually. And do you know who? I was talking about Jessie Ware last week to you.
Oh, yeah.
Table Manners, and
Yeah.
it was Alanis Morissette.
Oh yeah, I
She
know who
sounds
she is.
actually quite young.
Did she?
Yeah, she sounds
looks
young.
young. She still
And she's
looks
got like
young.
youngish kids, but like she is definitely like a massive hippie from what I heard.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
She actually homeschools her kids, and she's like, "Oh, I met my husband at a ceremony I was having at my house, like
Oh.
a ceremony that's very hippie."
Sacrificing a baby, I heard.
Side note.
So that was. Sorry.
Oh.
What's saying that?
I want to ask you something. Last week we were talking about speculation around Mariah being inappropriately touched. By who?
Chris Kirkpatrick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard more about this, by the way.
I saw a picture of her posing with Chris Kirkpatrick on Twitter today, so she can't be upset with Chris Kirkpatrick, so that must be misinformation, fake news.
There was a lot more about it being said and a lot more suspicion about it. And then Mariah posted something apparently on her Instagram which said Chris Kirkpatrick beats his wife, a clip of it.
What?
But then the final part was video games. So it's like she's always trying to like
She's
stir
trying.
up shit. I think so. But then when someone asked her about it, she's like backtracking apparently. So I thought that's interesting. There was some shit going on there.
Perhaps it was Chris Kattan.
Perhaps it was Chris Kattan.
Mariah said that he might have touched her trying to get out of the bedroom.
Why he popped up on the finale for 1 sec?
For what?
While you're there, why don't you fucking do the vote? Do you know what I mean?
What I think they should have let him vote. I think they
Yeah. I
should
mean,
have.
he's obviously contracted to be there.
Yeah.
It's like, and here's Chris
Oh,
Kattan.
Because you walked,
Why?
you're not allowed to take
Oh,
part
he's
in the ceremony.
given up his voting privileges.
Yeah, it's very
Didn't get to make a
auspicious.
sassy comment.
A very auspicious occasion.
Oh, God.
Yeah, what would Chris Kattan have said?
Yeah, he'd be like, well, I didn't want to be there, but blah, blah, blah. We never found out who the audience voted for, did we?
No, they didn't bother to tell
Oh,
us that.
that's a shame. That.
America's vote.
Mind you.
Text A or B. Like, it's so weird.
Yeah. Oh, was that what it was? Text A or B?
Yeah, but because I guess America's favourite player was text the name of.
Oh, right.
But when they all
yeah.
spell their names like that, I can't trust people to spell it right, can you?
No.
Do you think someone's there, like, corroborating the results?
Oh,
being
that's
like,
probably
"Oh,
why Shayna
They
did.
meant Misha, but they spelt it. Because Misha's spelt weird
It
as
is
well.
smelt weird. That's probably why Shayna didn't win. People were spelling it with a fucking I.
Could
That's
be,
why she didn't
could
win.
be. Well, she's still top 3, though.
Like Derek X and Derek F all over again. So then the only other thing I've got was Todrick was saying Chris Kirkpatrick was bullying him, and Chris Kirkpatrick was saying Todrick was bullying him. And I said, "You're grown men. Don't be so pathetic."
Yeah. As they like
Don't you
to
just
put on the
think
show.
you're bullying me? Like, you're literally like fucking 50 years old and 30, whatever the fuck he
Well, it
is.
is still possible to bully.
Yeah, I know, but
I'd
neither
say
of,
Todrick was a bully.
neither of them were really bullying. Todrick was, that scene they showed, which we'll get to, that was
was very revealing.
and apparently that went on all day long. And Todrick was just being so horrible to Chris Kirkpatrick. Like, it's a game, and you're taking it to a personal level. Did you see my tweet? I've got quite a few likes.
No.
I said
Sorry, I didn't look.
Todrick spent so long with the cookout, and the only thing he learnt was how to, I can't remember it now. how to do a Kyland, because Kyland said about Xavier's nephew. Yeah.
Very nice.
It was
Very good.
phrased better than that, than my retelling. I feel like we're using up all our good material before we...
We're shooting our load too early.
This bit's probably better, though, than going, oh, then something happened.
Oh, do you know what I want to say now? Because I feel like people might trail off.
Don't trail off. We're only 19 minutes
We
in.
want to also know what you thought of the finale.
It's time for BB on Blast listeners vote.
So you should email us to
Text
BB
A.
Fuck's sake. You should email us to bbonblastpod@gmail.com.
Yes.
Obviously, we're talking about the finale now, so we'll get to it next time. But we will talk about whatever you want to talk about when we come back for BB Can.
Within reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just read any. We don't do any proofreading.
That's true.
So
Yeah, we got caught out with that in the past. That was literally all I had. But I've still, if you think about it, I'm on the episode of the podcast where Chris Kattan left. I will have a lot more information
There's
about
loads
CBB.
more. God, we're gonna have
Not
to do
that anyone will give two fucks, but we might be vaguely interested, but probably not.
we have to do like a sweep up episode where we come back and
Yeah.
string everything back together.
And put read out Todrick's apology note on Twitter.
Well,
Oh, he
has
cancelled.
He's cancelled all of his
he
publicity.
cancelled all his interviews. That is hilarious.
Surely you're contractually obliged
Yeah.
to do that shit.
Don't that make you look just 10 times more guilty?
Like Prince Andrew.
He did the interview. That was the problem. If you just go to the interview and go, look, he's obviously read the room. Like, oh shit, and just go to the interview and go, oh, I'm so sorry, it's a pressure cooker in there. Blah blah blah. You know, things are said in the heat of the moment.
Tour.
Of course, wrap it all up. If you just cancel the interviews, you look like a right idiot. You look like it's all true, and you've thrown your toys out the pram.
This also is a flaw in the format that you don't get an interview with the winner or the final or the runner-up. Todrick should have been questioned by Julie, as should Misha. Like, I don't understand that.
No.
And that's where the rest of the time should have. Okay, you can't fit in questions. You should at least put in comment from your winners, your final two.
Don't say who won it, but me and Jack just finished watching BBAU 2013 because Round's watching it at the moment.
Okay,
But
well, it's obvious. Everyone knows who won it.
well, I think she knows, but anyway, we don't know. But anyway,
No spoilers for one of our listeners.
when that person won, no interview. After all that time.
I didn't know
Oh
that.
yeah, shit, that's a spoiler for you as well. After all that time, all 90 days, and they interview fucking,
Everyone else.
sugar sisters and shit like that. It's not a spoiler that they didn't win. For like fucking 30 minutes. Winner comes out, no, it's like, what the fuck?
And that would have been a very interesting interview as well.
It could have been, who knows. It was just like, you felt robbed. But there was other parts of that finale that were really, really fucking good. Like the voiceover comes up. I am ruining it now. Round, I'll just tell you to skip ahead. Round, when you, I'll text her. The voiceover goes, yeah, you have done blah 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 during this game. You did this, you did that, you did this, and like sort of gives like a little,
Brother?
like a recap of your game and like all the magical moments. And this is why you deserve to win it. Do you know there was only 2% in that fucking vote. So it could have been anyone who won round. That was... I told you, Jack said that was one of the best things he's ever seen in his life, that season. If you've not seen that season and you like Big Brother, I've got that in my Dropbox. I'm happy to share the link if anyone wants to watch it.
Did you manage to get all the episodes in the end?
All of them, 90 of the fuckers.
Oh, wow.
If you've got a lot of time on your hands, honestly, it is a magical season. It's really, really, really good.
Crying out for another pandemic so we can all watch this old Big Brother, aren't we?
You still got to watch all of 90 Day Fiancé, yeah?
Never mind, we've got a world war now.
Yeah, that's not so good. Yeah, we had quite a good conversation about that yesterday, didn't we?
We did,
Quite indeed. You wouldn't have thought we were political commentators, but actually we are.
Well, to each other. Yeah. Well, I found out there's an entire Russian news channel you talked about.
Russian propaganda channel.
Insane.
That is so fucked.
Who's it for? Who's watching it?
They need to shut that shit down for starters, don't they? That is just so weird. There's a lot of weird channels, foreign channels. Maybe,
but it's not even foreign. It's British.
I know, that's the weird part. It must be for Russians who are in this country.
So why is it not in Russian with Russian presenters?
Yeah.
It's so odd.
It is odd. It is purely propaganda, just like GB News.
Careful, we'll get taken out on the way home.
Oh, God. They don't know where we live. Do they? Anyway, should we talk about the episodes? So have you got... You ain't got anything for
I
this
don't have
episode?
any for this one. I can't remember where we're at. What happened?
Yeah, we're out of wine as well.
I'll get the wine.
Come on, get the wine. I'll warm us up. So, listeners, why were there so many fucking episodes? When we did our last episode, I thought, oh, there's only like 2 more.
Home straight, yeah.
Yeah, I thought there's only 2 more episodes left. We're going to have a nice relaxing finale. We can chill. We don't have to worry. Then there's like another fucking 5 episodes or something. I'm like, what the hell? Like, give us a break. Some are 2 hours long. Some are like a minute long. It's like, what's going on? Leave us alone.
What's the last thing we watched? We watched
Carson going.
his eviction was the last thing. Oh, yeah, his interview was the last thing we saw.
Apparently, we didn't miss anything by skipping that interview with that strange guy.
Who told you that?
Laurie.
So, was he promoting something?
Undoubtedly.
Himself. So what's happening in the next episode? It's a head of household, is it?
Oh no, it was the recap episode. It was the Do you remember when? Do you remember this? Do you remember that?
Oh, in
is
which
that
case...
why you didn't make notes?
No, I have got notes.
Oh, you have got notes.
Are you sure you're not skipping one?
Well, if I am, we both are, because those are the...
That's the start
of my notes.
As you know, like normally, by the end of a US Big Brother, I'm tired. I'm getting tired, and you're normally like, "Oh, you can skip this episode."
Yeah.
And you didn't say that to me about this one.
No, it was quite good.
It was actually, I think, one of the best episodes of the whole season because it was really not strategy. It was just living, like existing.
Yeah, we like that stuff, don't we?
Don't get me wrong. I don't like the there was the
Oh, do you remember when?
Like, remember that time? When this happened? Like, that's annoying.
Yeah.
But the footage was actually good.
Yeah. Go and sit back down here so people can actually hear you. Okay. Yeah, it was good, and I'll tell you what was even better. It wasn't. I wasn't casting it through my telly very well, so I had to watch it on my laptop. So I sped it up a little bit, made it so much better.
Oh, everything's better. Yeah.
Oh, it was so much better. I sped it up to about 1.4, I think, which was quite bold. I slowed it down when I had that argument. But to get through, the flaff.
The flaff.
I wanted to say the fluff or the chaff, and it came out as flaff.
Cheers.
Cheers, listeners. Thanks for sticking with us. We appreciate it. Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. Come on then, what we got?
Well, I actually.
Actually.
Episode 12 this is. What have you got?
I've done my numbering wrong.
Okay.
Is what's happened.
I've actually numbered everything that they talked about, apart from number 1 seems to have gone missing. My numbers have gone odd too.
Oh, goodness.
But I've got like every single highlight in a sentence.
Oh my god.
Or 2.
Go on then, you lead us.
The first one is Todd doesn't remember Cynthia's name on day 2.
Probably don't know either. Do you know what they were drinking?
Oh, Verve. The Verve Clicquot.
And apple tot. What is an appetizer? Is that just an apple drink?
Yeah. Well,
at least it was
Lamar is off the alcohol, isn't he?
At least it wasn't
Sober.
that fucking strawberry Perrier filth. Go on.
So
you talk us through.
The second one, Todd not remembering Cynthia's name,
Yeah.
was done. Second one was the NSYNC origin story. And Chris Kirkpatrick was talking about how the management, they already had Backstreet Boys, right? But they wanted the McDonald's and Burger King of the music world.
Or Wimpy.
Which one's which?
Well, we know which.
Backstreet Boys is the McDonald's, right?
Yeah.
NSYNC is the Burger King.
Yeah.
AKA the lesser popular, however arguably better quality.
If you're desperate, you're going to Burger King, but if there's a McDonald's there, you're going to go now.
Yeah, I know you prefer McDonald's, but I think that Burger King is slightly better food.
Yeah, but I like my cheap and cheerful things, don't I?
Do you like the smokiness of a Burger King?
No, it's too much meat for me. I like the little thin burger. A little patty.
I don't know if you've got anything else of that conversation.
I've got that. Chris, I'll try saying that after a few drinks, said, I didn't get into NSYNC. I started it. It's like, ooh.
It's like, oh, okay.
Baller.
Who started the cookout? Derek F or Tiffany? Derek F was claiming this week to have started the cookout. You know that. And people are
not
backing
again.
Mm-hmm.
But listen, this explains it. Because who the fuck would let Chris Kirkpatrick be in a boy band unless he started it? Makes perfect sense.
You're right.
Otherwise, you wouldn't have someone that ugly in a boy band.
Not with a beard like that.
No. Go on. What's next?
There's the third highlight was Todrick was not in sync with Chris Kirkpatrick.
Ah, nice. Oh,
Todrick being a bitch when Chris Kirkpatrick offered him a coffee. That's where it all started from. Do you remember that?
Is that what happened?
Todrick is there like, you know that, I haven't seen one of these in many years. One of those vacuum cleaners that isn't electric.
Yeah,
has
like
the brushes.
Yeah, like a. manual vacuum
There
thing,
you
I
go.
think it's called, yeah.
He's there, like, fake
We
hoovering.
used to have one of those as a kid.
My auntie had one. Fake hoovering the kitchen carpet or whatever, and Chris Patrick offers him the coffee, and Todrick just ignores him. And then he goes, he says something like, I know you don't like give a fuck about whether I have coffee or not, or something like that.
Oh.
And then he goes, shall we just address the elephant in the room?
That's no way to talk about Cynthia. I just said Cynthia. It could have been anyone.
Of all people you went for Cynthia.
I
that's so funny.
know. Oh, sorry, Cynthia. I was thinking
Could
of
have said Chris
I was thinking of her in that yellow swimsuit.
That's rude.
Yeah, no, she's got a nice body.
Todrick claimed that he'd got a broken heart over Chris turning his back on him
Oh, please.
in an early days alliance, but I don't recall this. I'm sure it must have happened, but I guess Todrick in the early episodes ended up committing to everyone.
Was it the Athletes Alliance that Chris Kirkpatrick was in?
Yeah, it is.
Why was
You're
Todrick
right.
in the Athletes Alliance? He ain't a fucking athlete either.
No.
Was there any athletes in that?
Misha, I guess you could call an athlete,
Lamar,
and Lamar.
Before that, one final thing on the NSYNC thing.
Yeah.
Chris Kirkpatrick said Justin Timberlake, although I've written JC here, that's someone different, fell into his lap. Ooh. I just wanted to say that. Go on. So then what happened?
So, after the rejection of the coffee, they went aside to talk about it in that
To the sauna
room.
The fake sauna.
The fake sauna. And Todrick basically said to him, I don't like you. I hope I never see you again. Oof. And if your kid were to see that, he'd say, Daddy, you flipped on your team. Is this where he said your son should be ashamed of you?
Yeah.
I presume so.
Yeah, don't bring Chris Kirkpatrick's response was, don't you dare use that, which I liked. I got even more shit Todrick said, if you want it.
Yeah, go on.
You want it? He said, man to man, don't shake my hand if you don't trust it. Not man to man. Shout out Audley Harrison. Todrick swore on Beyonce that he wasn't coming for Chris Kirkpatrick. Is that the real Beyonce or Zach from Judy Girl's Cat? Not sure. There's a niche reference. So yeah, that's what sprung to my mind. I put here, seems like Chris is going home and Todrick is still trying to rub it in. Then Todrick said the sort of sentence that no one actually says in real life. This is sort of shit that someone just says on Twitter. He said, give yourself that fake Yelp review and report card. Who says shit like that?
Yelp, as in Yellow Pages?
Yeah.
No one has thought about Yelp in about 20 years.
Yeah, this is what I don't... Well, one of the things I don't like about Todrick, he talks in, internet speak. You know when people talk like that, it just grinds my gears. The way he talks...
I like it. Chef's kiss.
No, it's annoying, oh, yes, queen, and all that. It's just...
Yes,
when I hear
queen.
people on podcasts talking like that, not on Rob as a podcast, they have, some younger contributors who talk like that. I just think, when you listen back to this in a few years, you're going to sound like such a fucking idiot.
Is it like us saying it was lit?
Yeah, it's like,
We've both
you
done
said that earlier.
And you said it on this podcast before.
But, I'm here for it and all that. There's something
I'm
about...
here for it.
It's okay to say...
I'm here for that.
We say shit like that here and there. But when, your whole vernacular is just that, it kind of makes me cringe. I think it must be my age. But it's just
I think it might be.
That's not how people talk. Talk properly. That's what I'm trying to say.
I think it's part of a culture. The language comes with part of a culture.
Yeah.
And internet culture feeds into it. Gay culture feeds into
Keep
it.
that shit on Twitter, I say.
Don't forget that... Well, I don't know about the Yelp review. It doesn't sound like something. But don't forget that Todrick's in, drag race circles and...
I think maybe I'm just... Yeah, I feel apart from it then. Maybe. I'm just feel like, grandma.
I didn't write that down or notice it sounded like that. But
there you go. Yeah,
I was really only going in for the harshest words. So when I was making my notes,
so this is what Todrick said. He said, "What you did is not noble, and if your kid was to see this, he'd be like, Daddy, you turned on your team, the Island." Chris then said he wanted to go out with dignity. Well, good luck. That was it for that section. I think that just
dignitas more like if you're talking to Mariah.
Just when I watched that scene, it was a very small scene. I thought it told you a hell of a lot about Todrick.
It did.
He just came across so.
It was a shame that they left it till then to show it. Not that we could have done anything about it in this version, but it was a bit like, why did you hold that off till now? And also, it's almost a little bit like, it's a bit harsh on Todrick as well, because he was painted in a better light, and then it was like, here's the Todrick you thought you saw, but actually, behind the curtain, he's actually pretty fucking horrible.
And also, he's like kicking someone when they're down, like Chris
Especially
Kirkpatrick.
because he was actually on the way out the door.
Yeah, it's like, it's just something unseemly about it.
And it was like, he said, shall we address the elephant in the room? Because he needed to take that shot then, before Chris Kirkpatrick got out the door. So he needed to have... Todrick wanted that. He wanted to take that shot or knock him down a peg or two for some reason before he left the house.
Oh, that's good jury management, then, isn't it?
Terrible jury management.
I want to talk to you about jury management at the end.
Ooh, okay.
And if you think it would have been a different result if... They
were
hadn't
shut away.
Yeah, let's talk about that at the end. A nice tease for you there, listeners, if
Coming
you're
up.
interested in Gaz's thoughts on that.
Debate on strategy, our strong card.
Yeah.
Strong suit, sorry.
Shut up, we know stuff. Go on. Well, the next thing I've got written is Carson on stilts.
Carson wants to do the 7 dwarves in a jacket with Lamar's robe, I've written, yes.
That was what was going on. I think on 1.5 speed that must have got lost in translation.
Yeah, so he, you know that big old white hooded cloak thing that he wore with a
I hate that thing.
Zeus-like face on it.
Poncho sort of
He
thing,
was like,
isn't it?
Lamar's so tall that I can basically put that on and get on Todrick's shoulders and then act like I'm Lamar.
That's funny.
That's a bit of comedy.
We like that.
Next was, how well does Lamar know the game?
I'll answer you that. So if you get evicted, you can't win.
Yeah, he also asked about the mirrors. He's like, why are there so many mirrors in here? And someone's like, well, the cameras are behind the mirrors.
Yeah.
To which he said, that's a little extra.
I want to know what fucking contract he signed, how his manager sold this to him, and what Big Brother actually told him before he went in the fucking house.
Obviously did not read that.
No, clearly not. Can he even read?
Like the people getting on the plane for something about Miriam. Oh, sign this. In you go. In you go.
And then he told Chris Kirkpatrick, oh, you can win that HOH next week. And Chris Kirkpatrick said, I'm literally going home on Friday. And also he coined a new word. Do you know what that was?
He is going off of spontaneity in this house. Lamar said he is not going to watch when he gets out. He's not really even bothered about voting for the winner either. He doesn't really want to do that. He said, and then he said about the fact that everyone does get to choose the winner. There's no way losers should decide if I win or not.
I love that.
So did Dan.
Don't
That
you
was
think
actually true.
Don't you think that is like, if you stop and think about it, why the fuck is that allowed to happen? People who you have outplayed them, they get to decide your fate.
Well, that does make it a hard line to tread. For example, you need to manage your jury, like Todrick failed to do so. It makes it harder. It
does, but if you're coming at it from Lamar's perspective, he don't know shit about shit. You can kind of see it from his point of view, like, well, that don't make sense. Why would you've lost? You should have... In a way, it's like, oh, am I allowed to still win if I've been voted out? Why am I allowed to pick who wins if I've been voted out? It's sort of like, you can kind of see the reasoning.
He's also got a mentality of a winner. Like he said, someone...
Not in the comps.
No, not in this house, but someone made a comment about him being an NBA player, and he was like, oh no, I'm a champion NBA player, whatever. It's like he has a mentality of like winning is what you aim for. So I feel like it really sort of manifested itself in the sort of, well, that doesn't make sense. These people are losers. How can they decide who wins?
I really like that. And then he also said, who's Julie, which I liked.
But they didn't show him get a name wrong,
Julie
which we've heard about.
And also when he come out, he was a bit like, where do I go now? Like, oh dear.
Lamar's interview was the best US Big Brother interview I've ever watched.
I thought it was going to go a lot worse than it did. Let's put it that way.
I felt it was very heartfelt, and I also just realised he's such a nice guy.
It's a shame he went just before the end on that. Yeah, he is sweet.
Next up, I've got something about ancestry. What's that? Todd is a relative of the pharaohs. Okay, mate, I've written.
Oh, hang on. Yeah, I've got something before that though.
What about
your bullet point system is going to hell. Lamar, we had the Lamar is not good at whispering thing where Todrick was trying to like gameplay with him, and Lamar was like, "Okay, I'll go out and tell Misha that," and was just talking really, really loudly. And he thought the diary rooms were like a private therapy session. We've already talked about that on the podcast, I think.
That's why I didn't put it in my notes.
Yeah, and oh yeah, so how this conversation started that you mentioned was Lamar said. Was talking about how aliens helped build the pyramids, which we all know is a scientific fact. And he said, if you do your history, you know this. If you do your history, you know this.
No, it started from Todd just claiming he's a distant relative of the pharaohs.
Oh yeah, that was it.
Lamar was like, well, you know, so as a distant relative of the
yeah,
pharaohs, you'll be familiar with the aliens.
And then he goes, how did they build the pyramids? They don't have cement.
No, but how did... I don't think anyone actually knows.
No one knows how they did it, but they're not made out of cement.
Slave labour.
Yeah, I think it was
that
slave
the theory
labour.
that people were like chained together with pulling those ropes up.
Yeah, it's like Stonehenge as well, isn't it? But I think it's still a mystery because how big they are and physically how you would do it back in the day.
Have we talked about this recently?
Am I making
this shit up? Probably it was just talking with Dan. But like, how do you get the point on the top? That's the misnomer, I suppose. Like, is that the right word?
No.
What's a misnomer?
Misnomer's like when you like say something wrong, like, you know, at the scapegoat.
Okay. Well, that's a misnomer in itself. That's the unknown, right? How do you get that pointy bit on the top?
Yeah. Well, it's like putting a star on top of the Christmas tree. Huh? Yeah, the fact is, he's right. No one knows. But what this tells me is Lamar's been up too late at night on YouTube watching Ancient Aliens, shit like that.
Yeah,
you go deep down that rabbit hole. And
especially on substances.
Quiet, and you don't quite get out again.
He said about the, I guess the Sphinxes or whatever, they cut off the nose because the nose exposes the aliens. How? Do they have like an alien nose? Like it's not a human nose.
And then someone said, "Oh no, the nose has just fall off." I've seen that Sphinx, you know. I've been to Egypt.
Oh yeah. Was it a school trip?
No, I went with my friend from university.
Did you hate it?
Yeah, I hated it. I fell out with my friend really badly, and I hated being in Egypt. I was just getting like ogled everywhere. I couldn't go out on my own. I hated absolutely everything about it. But I did see that Sphinx, so hang on. And we went down in like the crypt kind of things. That was kind of cool. Like you think it would be like quite scary, but it was kind of interesting.
Yeah,
see all the hieroglyphics and shit like that.
That is pretty cool. Like I've only seen that shit in the British Museum, and that creeped me out, to be honest.
Yeah, it's cool to kind of say you've done it, but I would never want to do something like that again. I'll stick to just going to Spain. Ignorant.
No aliens there.
Well, you never know. Then the next thing I've got is Cynthia saying a very stupid thing. Have you got this?
My next one is Cynthia was surprised that Shayna was allowed to bring in a crystal that could predict what's going to happen in this house. Cynthia.
This is a stupid thing Cynthia said thus far. And the way Shayna was doing it, like that thing where you like make it go back and forth. That's the oldest fucking trick in the book, that shit. Because you just sort of will it to do that, you know. My mum and dad used to do the shit. And you know that levitating shit as well. My mum and dad used to do that as well. Like we used to have like house parties and they'd always do that levitating thing.
Dan said it's like a drama school thing.
Yeah.
And it's basically that everyone works a little bit harder on the second round. So you feel like that person is actually floating. But I've never experienced
and the person who's floating helps the whole thing as well. Everyone is sort of thinks they're not doing it, but they are doing it. Everyone's doing a little bit kind of thing. I used to see my mum and her friends doing it. It was quite cool. It was quite cool, but even then I was like, oh, come on.
They were all like, as if it really
all
happened.
These things are just like, you trick yourself into thinking it's something, you know. Sorry, listeners, to ruin the fun.
Big Brother sort of like put a dampener on.
Oh yeah, they did.
Belief in the crystal by disproving all the things she thought she predicted.
That's a bit mean. That's a bit mean, isn't it? Although, even though I completely agree, I've put then BB reveals it to be full of shit. Then I think we had a Carson's diary room. Best bits.
I haven't got any specifics.
I've got one.
Highlights. Yeah.
Mariah said we're all old, but my nose is only 7. And him going, damn you, Mon one. Then we had a bit of a...
Me Aisha, I'm really pleased that you've been able to let your guard down in the house.
Jesus.
Has she?
God.
And then we had the whole, she's very poor as an MMA fighter. And then she had to live in an RV for 2 years. What is an RV?
It's just like a... You know, like a yeah, that's it, a caravan that you
what
sort
does
of live
RV
in.
mean? Do you know?
Recreational vehicle.
Oh,
Get
interesting.
me.
Chris Kirkpatrick.
It's like a camper van.
Just Chris Kirkpatrick started one up in the story.
He
about
did.
Suddenly was like, yeah, you might have lived in an RV, but I lived in a car. I think.
He said him and his family were homeless.
Yeah, when he was at school. And then he lived in a shack with an outhouse. And then I was like,
oh!
who'd have thought it? We were talking about outhouses on the last podcast.
We were. God. Fucking hell. Yeah, and he said, people just think of me as this guy from NSYNC, if that.
What else? Little do they know, I didn't have a sink.
Nice. Then we had another moving section.
What's it? Oh, Lamar and Kobe.
Yeah. Who we last know from Kylan's fight with Xavier.
Oh, that's the name of his nephew.
Yeah, but also they were talking about Kobe Bryant, saying, you know, you said you were going to play like Kobe and blah, blah, blah. And...
Sounds like an Eminem lyric.
Not for the first time this podcast ran. So they were talking about did he die in a helicopter crash or something like that?
It was a helicopter crash.
And he was saying, I didn't know how much he meant to me until he died, or something like that. Anyway, I think he's quite a big thing in America.
He is. I think that's one of those things that, like, we heard about it. There are ripples of it on social media, but we don't really get it.
We don't know about it. Well, obviously it's horrific for someone to die that way. But he's not famous
But
here.
he seemed to have been, like, sort of held up as a hero for some reason.
Sort of a guy, yeah.
I guess it's like some sort of footballer dying here.
Oh, yeah, and then Todrick said... Well, if a footballer died here, I wouldn't really give a shit. And Todrick said, they showed it in this gay club I was in London about Kobe Bryant dying.
Oh.
Now, which gay club in London would that be where they show the fucking news halfway through you trying to enjoy your evening?
Not one I can think of.
I just thought, he's making that shit up. No gay club would show such a thing. Would they? Maybe a pub would. I don't think a club would.
Well, I'm thinking about, like, Heaven. They have got screens all around. But normally they're just promoting their upcoming nights, so I'd be surprised if it feels a bit of a tall story.
That's what I thought. I just don't seem like something that would happen in London to me, but I could be wrong. If you were at a gay club in London and you saw that, let us know.
But like maybe more of a pub or a bar where there happens to be
the news on. I bet it was that, and he's exaggerating.
Yeah,
it.
We shut down the bar. Yeah, I don't think so. Also, because I just don't think it's that relevant.
No, because we don't even know who he is, so it's a load of bollocks, Todrick. Stop talking shit.
No disrespect to Kobe.
No, rest in peace. So, then the next storyline we had was...
Cynthia's cleaning drama.
Oh, no.
That was the Anthea Turner section.
This was not
Cynthia has got these blue gloves that look like a bit like surgical gloves that she uses to clean the toilet, and she's obviously the most concerned about like cleaning. She seems the most active.
You can understand that.
What? Being an
we
active
were talking
cleaner?
about cleaning and doing chores earlier, weren't we?
Well, not so much for cleaner. I'm just more of a particular arranger,
organizer.
Anyway, Chris Kirkpatrick misunderstood the use of the blue gloves and ends up using them in the kitchen, and Cynthia was horrified.
I'm sorry, but if the gloves are in the toilet, they're in the toilet for a reason. You go in there and kick them up and take them. Cleaning products in the toilet need to stay in the toilet.
Yeah.
You don't go taking them into the kitchen after that.
No.
Then they showed Chris Kirkpatrick, what was he, sniffing them all.
Doing a Kylan.
Oh no.
Why was he sniffing them?
I don't know.
Smelled a bit pissy.
And then they showed Todrick mopping the floor, and he said, I would never do this in the wild.
Todd snoring section I've got coming up next.
Oh yeah. Chris, was it Chris Kattan?
Didn't he wake him up?
Was poking him.
Pulled his leg or something, and then he rolled around.
And then just started snoring on the other side.
Nice to see Chris Kattan.
Yeah, he'd not had a mention till then. I was like, come on,
he must have loads of highlights.
Yeah, give him the respect he deserves.
Next bit I've got is a diary room dependence montage.
Ooh.
Mariah said about the other housemates that they don't care about the environment, and she was crying about it. You know, these old people rarely do. Shayna said, besides Misha and Todrick, I don't think anyone knows what they're doing.
That's also true.
Lamar was spotting the fingernails in the diary room.
That was his.
They're his fingernails.
We've got the video evidence.
Yeah, it was on the live show.
I noticed Big Brother hadn't picked that up since. Can't they run a hoover around in there?
Cynthia's clearly not doing the diary room. And someone left their sock in there, didn't they? Everyone was coming in going, oh, is that whoever's sock? Whose sock was it? I can't remember.
I've got it. I've got some of the bits. Lamar comes into the diary room and says, what room is this? Like, the diary.
Big Brother said, well,
yeah,
a voice of Big Brother went, oh, this is the diary room.
Yeah, and he was like, oh, the diary room. I like that.
Do you know what? They didn't used to call it the diary room on the first series.
Oh.
Because I watched that launch night. They called it like the purple room or the pink room or something.
I see. Then Lamar also said, is corporate America like this? Like what? Being in the diary room?
What is corporate America?
Like, people who work in offices.
Oh. No, it's like little divides, right? And a plant pot and a pen pot, and that's it. And a box of shit when you leave and you carry it out in. Right?
And to leave your security pass at the door. It was Todd who left his socks in the dining room. And then we had a bit about Todrick and Lamar's relationship and how they were very close. Lamar said about Todrick, he's handsome and smells good, and I would even go to a gay club with him. Even.
Well, now we know that the gay club will break news.
Yeah.
Of,
any deaths.
Celebrity deaths.
Untimely deaths. Do you think Lamar will still go to that gay club with Todrick, or do you think he's gone off him now?
I don't think Lamar will have any reason to go off him because he doesn't understand how this whole thing works. But he didn't vote for him.
No.
So you would have expected he would have done. So maybe he's off him too. But
Or do you think he just read the room?
Nah, it's Todd would have gone to Lamar.
Because they're thick as thieves, aren't they?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Lamar isn't
in
tune with the game.
Lamar
so he would
had
have
already...
gone, Todrick's fucked us all over. He was talking shit about all of you. You can't vote for him to win. And Lamar would have gone, okay.
And Lamar had already turned a bit against Todrick and Misha, hadn't he? They were all kind of like woke up, didn't they? And were like, oh shit, we actually need to get this.
Too little too late.
A week or two too late.
They're like Carson during that strategy talk.
God. So that was it for the recap. Yeah, I did enjoy the recap, to be fair.
You have missed one part.
Go on.
Is that I don't know who was calling who this in the Todrick and Lamar section. There was a nickname for someone, which was Boo Stinker.
Oh, I totally missed that.
I think it might have been Lamar to Todrick. Calling him a Boo Stinker.
Oh, I see. I don't know what that means.
Me neither, but it sounds quite cute.
Do you want to have a pause for an ad break, or?
Yeah.
51 minutes in. Fucking hell.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I thought one of them said more than an hour.
Oh,
okay,
God.
yeah, let's pause for a second and have a little convenience break.
Go and use the restroom and watch out for the toilet gloves.
Whatever kind of night you're having, start it off right with Drizzly, the go-to app for drink delivery. Whether you're mixing up a bullet bourbon old-fashioned for a cozy night in, or a Kettle One Bloody Mary bar for a birthday brunch, you can get the perfect beer, wine, and spirits for any occasion delivered with Drizzly. So,
what's it gonna be?
Download the Drizzly app or go to drizzly.com. That's DRIZLY.com to choose your drinks today. Must be 21 plus, not available in all locations.
Welcome back. Oops.
Welcome back. Gaz is moaning about being tired. Come on, there's a long way to go, yeah.
There is a long way to go.
And a lot more to drink. So, think on. So now, I've got episode 12, but I think that's wrong, isn't it?
It's 13.
I'm totally off now.
So this is picking up on the day of Carson's eviction.
Yeah. Don't think it's an awful final five, if you really stop and think about it.
You
got
yes.
Lamar, useless.
Yeah, but I love
Cynthia,
Lamar.
Useless.
I mean, I like Cynthia.
I don't.
Oh.
Todd Bridges, begrudgingly almost started to root for him at the end. Todrick, Misha.
You said you liked Misha last week.
Did I? In what context?
I don't know, you just quite like Misha.
Oh, I can't stand her.
I think that actually what happened towards the end was what happens in every Big Brother season. And when Todrick and Misha were steamrolling, it's not fun to watch that.
No.
I just really was wishing for, imagine, what actually Big Brother should have done is like have some very easy to win comps up their sleeve to fuck people over. Because had Cynthia won a veto and managed to take whoever it was off, and Misha would have had to go up.
That's all they needed.
That was the drama we were here for. We were waiting for.
One comp and it could have all changed, but Cynthia was incapable of winning any fucking comp.
But that's where they're going wrong, because they should do something where it's pure luck, maybe. Even just like, you know, it's too late in the day, but like the shit in Canada where it's the glass you drink from. Something like that.
That's true. Is that fair, like, far down the stretch?
Expect the unexpected, as they always say.
And to be fair, like,
there is nothing unexpected in this game. I expect all of it.
It's unfair. Well, Lamar said expect the unexpected in his exit interview. What do you think about that? A lot of it is unfair anyway. Like, Lamar can't do a lot of these comps because he's too tall, or this person can't do it because of that. So the comps are always unfair in a certain way, aren't they? So why not?
Usually individually calibrated, or they haven't had any of that this year.
No, they don't do that shit on BBUS.
Only Australia.
Like, suck it up. So I've got Lamar was imploring to be let out. But he did say in the diary, I'm going to keep shooting until my clip is empty. That's a bit of aggressive terminology there, Lamar. Calm down.
Violent.
They were shoehorning Carson into this episode with a few flashbacks, like 15 minutes before the vote.
Yeah, Todrick. Oh, this was actually interesting because Todrick was refusing to tell Carson if they'd made a decision, which they obviously had. They knew that he was going. It's like 75 minutes to go.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh, have you made a decision?" He's like, "No, we haven't spoken, but I haven't had time to talk about it." What else are you talking about in that house?
Yeah,
like,
too busy playing cards.
But then 70 minutes later, suddenly they've decided.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
Todrick told Carson they were evicting him. And Cynthia said she was going to ride it out with Todd and Lamar. Carson said, my deal wasn't honoured. And then he was doing a pep talk and he said, go get 'em for me to Lamar. Lamar said Todrick was being rude. And Todrick said to Lamar, you have bad energy today. Yeah, Lamar seemed to sort of sour against Todrick, didn't he?
Yeah, you're right.
Do you think he was because of what they did to Carson? Because Todd seemed to get pissy about that, didn't he? He was like, you know, Carson honoured his word and then they, like, got rid of Carson.
He honoured his word, in which, when he got rid of Shayna.
Yeah, and he didn't put Misha and Todrick up.
Did he have an opportunity to?
He was HOH and he got rid of Shayna, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Because they fed him a lie, which he both believed, and Cynthia believed. What was the question?
Has Lamar...
Is that what turned...
Lamar and Todd seem to have soured on Todrick. And seem to be regretting getting Carson out.
Let's see what I've written down, because I can't remember.
That's a pregnant pause. No dead air.
I got something here, though, that Cynthia was saying to Lamar that he's not going to go, because they already knew, they had confirmation that Carson was going, and Lamar was going, oh no, we've got to see first. Cynthia's like, no, they've told us.
Oh.
We've got confirmation, like, it's certain that Carson's going. And he's like, no, we have to wait. We have to wait and see. She's like, we know for sure.
No, wait and see.
Yeah, the first glimpse of Lamar turning was that he called out a fake laugh that Todrick was doing.
Oh, is that what it was?
Fake. Yeah. And then Todrick said he was pissed off with, what's his face? He
said. Ouch.
Basically, Todd, he was talking about, for saying that Todrick will be in trouble if anyone apart from Misha wins the HOH. I mean, Todrick surely can see that. That he was so close to Misha at the expense of a relationship with anyone else. Of course he was at risk.
Of course.
I noticed in this scene in the bathroom where Todrick was talking to Misha that she was creaming her feet but without taking her shoes off.
Yeah, hold on. I've put Misha is rubbing what looks like mayo on her legs. It was a strange tub of something she was putting on there.
She was really creaming between the toes but didn't want to take those shoes off.
Oh, imagine touching between your own toes. Ooh.
Touching between your own toes?
I wouldn't dream of going in that area.
Well, how do you wash it then?
Just, wash it in the bath.
Yeah, but you must scrub between them, no?
No.
Ew, you have to scrub between your toes.
With a poof, maybe. Not with my fingers.
Poof?
Yeah, a poof.
That's the thing you put your feet on. The poof.
The puff. What's it called?
Oh, those
puff.
things, I never know what they're called.
A puff, I think. Apologies, listeners.
Body shop have a different word for them, and I always forget what it is.
I think it is called a poof.
They call it a bath lily.
A shower poof. It is POUFFE.
It depends where you're buying it from.
People know what I'm talking about. You use that. Don't put your fingers down there. Go on. I'm Todrick bitching about Todd Bridges saying, I know what, because Todd said to Todrick, it's going to be you and Misha in the final two, but I don't think you're going to win. And Todrick got the hump about this, even though Todd Bridges was speaking the truth.
Are you sure he said that? I heard that I've written because he said you're in trouble if someone else other than Misha wins.
Oh.
HOH. It might be. I could be wrong.
I'm not sure. But then Todrick went off and bitched about Todd Bridges. And I said, he's touched a nerve here. Because Todd Bridges basically said to Todrick, you can't win it against Misha. That's what I thought was being said anyway. That being said.
It might be.
On the one hand.
Yeah, there was a discussion about what happens if someone who sits next to you, what happens. Like, you win if this person's there, you don't win if... You win if Cynthia's there, but you don't win if Misha's there, or whatever, maybe.
Yeah, I think Todrick was offended by whatever Todd Bridges said. And was like, I can win. I can win.
Well...
You cannot.
Cynthia is making sure that Todd and Lamar are on the same page as her. Lamar, she's like, Lamar, if you win it... And then Lamar said, "They out of here." Todd was like, you've got to cut the head off the snake. Cut the head off the snake.
Come on.
Thing with the tongue.
We love that shit.
I've got the HOH up next. What about you?
The last thing I've got before that is Todd Bridges has come to play. He said it's fucked up that they voted Carson out. That was when they said you've got to cut the head off the snake. Cynthia said she wants to win something for her own dignity. How did that go?
The thing is, I don't think Cynthia has lost her dignity. She
never had any in the first place.
I think she's carried herself well. She's represented herself with decorum. She's just been terrible at competitions. There's nothing particularly wrong with that.
I think decorum's pushing it. It's not just competition she's been terrible at. She's terrible at the strategic game as well. Socially, she's fine.
She fell for that lie.
Yeah.
Which stitched Carson up.
And her and Carson just laid in bed all day, not talking to other people. Apparently.
Oh.
So tell us about this HOH competition.
This was the BB Art Museum. Surely that's a gallery. And
Uncultured.
I don't know what it was called. Is that the name? It was
Spot the Fake.
Spot the Fake. Oh, yeah.
That's a bit of a shit name.
Oh, I spotted it. It's Todrick.
Zing.
So they had these pieces of art, which were basically imitations of quite famous artists' work on the screens. Then they had to run around and find which one didn't match. One was off on the screen, I think, compared to the ones on the wall in the house. It's a bit like that one we have to tip secret
hide and go veto,
but without trashing the house.
It's also a bit like in Animal Crossing when you have to go to the museum and give the artwork to Blathers, the owl. And sometimes you give it to him, he's like, oh, delightful, I'll put this up in the art gallery. Yeah. Sometimes you give it to him, he goes, no, it's a fake, get out of my museum. I think
how are you to know?
You're supposed to zoom in on it and look carefully when you buy it. But I always buy the wrong ones, like Mona Lisa's like... I pulled a face there. Anyway, that's my Animal Crossing fans out there.
Did you like the artworks?
Lamar was going, that one with the keys. Oh, I want that. Not the keys. The
cameras.
I want that in my house.
So that painting, it's obviously not a painting.
Painting. Let me have a look at these again. So we've got the woman saying, "Who do you want to see my HOH room?"
That's a very pop art. I don't know who the artist is.
If Andy Warhol.
No, that's not Warhol, I don't think. Or is it? It might be.
Me either. Andy Warhol. Oh, you've got the Mona Lisa in HOH row. That's a nice touch. Some keys. That's a bit of an 80s style there, isn't it?
Which one is that one?
This one.
That looks a bit Keith Haring.
And then we've got the little
Banksy
squirrel.
Banksy.
Sorry, squirrel, as you say.
And I think those cameras look a bit,
pop art,
Warhol-ish. And I don't know about this, like...
That's like still life,
Still life, yeah, it's like still life. Sort of I was going to say Renaissance, but I don't know.
No, that's naked women, I think. Yeah, we're not really art experts, to be fair.
I did used to be quite into art, and I did art at school.
You do you've got Gaz has got nice prints around the house, whereas I've really got much so far, but I will do.
You've got your artsy bits, though.
I was thinking
little handicraft things.
What the fuck is that?
The Mexican ones.
Oh, and I've got my mushroom print now. I was thinking.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking of having a feature wall. You know, we have all the pictures.
Yeah, do
But
it. Everyone should have a feature
But
wall.
don't you think? Oh, the mood lighting just changed in here.
It's the fairy lights went off because they're on the timer.
But don't you think it's a fine line between it looking cool and then it just looking like, you know, you're around
Messy.
your nan's house and she's got all the family photos going up the stairs. Do you know what I mean?
You have to arrange them in the right way.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm cut out for that sort of life.
Well,
I'd like to be.
I am.
Yeah, you are. I could see you doing it well, but don't you think I'd do it badly? They'd be all rickety.
That's the problem.
The lights are back on, but nobody's home.
That's the problem, getting lined up. Even I look at these ones, I'm like, oh no, that one's off. But they're stuck there now, so...
But the command hook, are they up
Command
with command hook?
strips.
Are they up with those?
Yeah.
And they're staying up?
Of course.
God, that's quite a big one as well. That's what she
How to
said.
stick up painting. I wonder if Big Brother used command strips.
So, Todrick, I noticed, was off like a rocket as soon as they said, go, oh my god, Todrick.
Lamar bloody wandered out.
Lamar could have
Waddled
fucking...
out.
Gaz, Lamar could have won this competition. He was back
know.
fucking checking it 3 times, then just strolling along like he was going for a walk down a fucking river.
Oh,
What
it's
the
annoying.
fuck? That is not okay. Oh, I noticed they were trying to make Misha do jokes in the diary room. It's like,
Were they?
don't even try it. Yeah, she said, oh, the Mona Lisa looks very comfortable in her HOH robe.
Oh, yeah, it
just-
felt like a forced line. I
came-
do remember that.
It came across so bad, like, just no, just don't do it. What else happened?
I just got that Cynthia basically answered incorrectly on the first one. That's embarrassing.
Did you like it when people went out and they had to squeeze through that little gap?
Yeah,
to get...
odd, isn't it? I thought that was a bit
undignified, wasn't it?
weird. There goes Cynthia's dignity.
And
Yeah,
mine,
that
if
was
I
an
had
odd
to
arrangement,
squeeze
and Todd had to like squeeze
Yeah.
through the commentary from that little stool.
It's funny. They must have had something else going on behind the wall, I guess, because it was a very narrow little corridor. I
I
guess.
noticed that they don't really let them have a full run of the garden.
No, they
do
don't have the garden
There's
anymore.
no pool.
No.
They don't
No.
have that in the celebrity scene.
They used to have a hot tub at least. They don't seem to have anything anymore, do
Well,
they?
they had that like wave pool for that swimmer.
Oh
didn't
yeah.
they? But
He was such good TV. He required his own pool.
most of the garden seems to have been kitted out for comps. Probably they'd rather just not let them have access because
Yeah.
it's mostly getting ready for the next comp because it's so fast.
But ain't that like well-being, like having access to like a bit of sunlight? Even
Well-
prisoners get to go out once a day.
Yeah, we never saw them outside during
No,
daylight, but you saw
no.
them outside at night time in that sort of like indoors-outdoors bit.
What bit was that?
It looks a bit cosy. You can tell that it's like outside the patio doors.
Oh,
It's like
yeah.
a garden-ish area with some like sofas and blankets. They don't show up much though. They don't have
No.
much access to it.
Hopefully they've not got many smokers in the house.
That's
So
the thing. You never see them smoke. Are they not allowed to smoke? They're not, are they?
I think I think they might have banned it. Jack said Lamar is moving at the pace of a snail.
He was. He was too slow. That's why he didn't make it back in time.
And then when he goes, oh, I should have got that.
Yeah, and he got it right. But
Yeah.
someone else buzzed him first.
Well, did he not see someone else running past him to the fucking buzzer and think, oh, maybe I should actually walk a bit faster?
No, he did let himself down.
He said, oh, I'll just have to live with that. Well, so will fucking we as viewers. I've now said, oh, a bold statement here. I want Todrick to win now and cut Misha.
I mean, I would have liked one of them to cut
The other.
Yeah,
Did you
either,
ever think?
way.
Did you ever think that there was a likelihood of that
I
happening?
thought Todrick might do it to
Yeah, Todrick was.
Cutthroat.
I don't think she would have ever done it to him. Do you?
Misha. I think she probably felt that she could beat him anyway. So she probably didn't need to.
She was right.
But would she have done had everything not unfolded as it did? I guess that's a question for later.
I think she still would have. I've said bring back Carson for the diary room. Misha is wooden as fuck. Misha should have just run when she saw Todrick had it. Oh yeah, because Todrick was in the room. He was looking at it, and Todrick got it. And Misha was in the doorway, and Todrick like went to run. And
he knew it.
yeah, because he knew it. As soon as you saw that he knows it and what room he's in, you know which artwork it is. She should have just run And then she could have beat him.
Yeah.
But she didn't.
Well, it's do you trust Todrick to get it right? Because there was quite a lot of debate at this end one. I didn't think it was the one it was.
Oh, really?
I was like, it's not that one.
I couldn't tell.
It was the Banksy squirrel one.
I'm sure. Oh, Jack got it right. Jack got it right.
Ain't that one?
I'm terrible.
And I think I'm good at stuff like that.
Oh,
like following that.
Well, that cut thing.
Ego veto.
I was telling Jack about that. I was like, Jack said he's good at that shit. I'm terrible at that stuff. Like Mario Party mini games. So
Dan's got one of those.
Yeah. They're fun. The mini games are fun, but going around the board is laborious.
I don't think it is that actually. It's WarioWare or whatever it is.
Oh yeah.
Got that?
Oh, is it really super fast mini games? I played the demo.
And like some of the characters can only move in certain directions.
Yeah.
Half the time, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
I played the demo of it. I was like, this is too high octane for me. I was like, I need to
lie
down.
The game's over and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
And I realise that Dan's won it. Like, he's the one that made the thing happen.
Yeah.
Like, oh, shit.
You're just going left and right.
I was thinking, I think it's me, but it's his character.
Yeah, that one's a bit too much for me, but the Mario Party is quite fun. So, then what happened? Todrick won. Cynthia said, I don't even know if I can get revenge for Carson. You cannot. Lamar didn't come up to the HOH ring because he was working out.
Oh, he goes, I'll be there in about 13 minutes.
Yeah, 13.
13 minutes is about approximately 3 minutes longer than this segment takes.
Yeah.
So you won't be it.
Now, what did you think of Todrick's pet cats?
He's got the hairless cat like a Bond villain.
Trust him
like Dr. Evil.
Trust that cunt to have those evil fucking looking cats. I wouldn't have that thing in the house.
Oh,
look at it.
I don't mind the hairless
Imagine
things.
stroking it.
Oh, it's okay.
Oh, it looks like a ball bag. I don't fuck with those cats, no.
Do you know about that time I wanted to get that hairless dog?
No.
I was maybe.
I don't know.
My housemate got this dog, and it's a Saluki, which is like a sight hound.
Yeah.
Rosh's dog. You never met it, did you?
I'm not sure. I have seen.
It's like a skinny one, but he's like got long hair.
Okay. Oh, I think I have seen that dog. Yeah.
Maybe. And then, one of my Halloween parties.
Is it like greyhoundy?
Yeah, he was at my Halloween party.
Yeah, that's a nice dog.
He was in like a onesie.
Yeah, that's a nice dog.
And because she got one, and we got him from Battersea, I was like looking at the dogs in the dog home, and this one came up, and it was like a similar shape of a dog, like it looks a bit like a greyhound, but it had no hair apart from it had like a little mohawk. And in the pictures they put a little bow tie on him, and he was called Bobby, and I was like, oh,
that
have Bobby.
That dog could be like Instagram famous if you got it, and it looks like that. You could have made a fucking fortune.
Definitely. Shit.
You should have got
could have been an investment piece.
Yeah. Pimp my dog.
I often think about that dog. I Google it sometimes to have a look. Because I really was like, imagine I could give this dog a life.
Yeah.
But it's so much commitment to have a dog.
You ain't fit to look after a dog.
Well.
Looking after a cat's bad enough.
Well, they look after themselves mostly, don't they?
Mostly,
Dog's more dependent on you.
And even a cat is annoying as hell to look after. So a dog's a million times worse. Imagine having a baby.
I think a dog is more work than a baby. No, I do. I think a dog's more work than a baby.
Controversial opinion. Where'd you get that fucking from? You can leave a dog at home. You can't leave a baby at home.
Aren't you?
You can
leave it at home with the dog.
only if you've got the baby monitor in your handbag while you're on the piss. God, it's a good job I ain't got a baby. Was that just an incendiary statement you said, or do you actually believe that?
No, I do believe that, because you have to take the dog out all the time.
You have to take a baby out to the fucking doctors, to school, fucking get clothes for it.
Eventually the baby goes to school, and then the school has to look after it. The dog is always in your house.
Not if there's the pandemic.
The dog's in your house being like, I need to poop. And so you've got to go out and take it. It's a lot.
Listeners, please tell us your thoughts on that matter. I can't wait to hear them.
Rowan can tell us. Rowan has a dog and children.
Yeah.
I bet she tells you the dog's hard work.
That dog is no trouble. It's like a little teddy bear.
Teddy Minecamp. Anyway, Todrick's HOH room. He was talking about the toddlers as his fan base.
Oh, God.
He had a letter from his mum, which I've written. His mum wrote this letter before they showed Todrick telling Chris Kirkpatrick his son should be ashamed of him, clearly. And she's very proud.
She said, what did I do to deserve such a gifted and talented child? Yeah, that was about it for that, I think.
Todd wants to be the first tortoise in space.
Todd's theory on going to space was you get to meet new things in space.
Yeah, like the pharaohs. No, sorry, the people that built the pyramids.
You most certainly do not get to meet new things in space. That's the last fucking thing you do. And if you do...
You don't want to. Have you not
shit.
seen Alien?
Yeah, exactly. And then they were going to Todrick. Oh, do you want to go to space? He goes, no. And they're like, why? Because I just don't want to. And I thought, that's the most relatable thing Todrick's ever said.
I also don't want to go to space.
I couldn't think of anything worse. I get homesick when I go on holiday to, I don't know, Brighton or something.
Homesick.
I do.
You're not going to be in space for long, though, if you do go, are you? It's going to
Long
be
enough.
up and down.
Fuck that.
I'm scared about getting back down.
I just don't want any part of it. I don't want to be in that space. I don't want to look at the earth from above. It would make me question, I don't know,
what I am.
my very soul. I need that shit in my life. I've got enough problems.
I mean, it must be sobering to go up there.
Yeah, I don't want that feeling.
Far from home.
Yeah. No.
Do you think it will ever come to a point where it is literally a
our
commercial
only
thing
choice?
and you can... No.
The planet's gone.
You can go for a trip to space, like a space safari or whatever.
Oh, if World War III don't fucking wipe us out before that.
Well, yeah, if that does happen, we will end up in space, hopefully, if we can get there. We won't be able to afford it.
I was saying to Jack, should we have a suicide pack if World War...
Suicide pack?
Here's your suicide pack in the post. Sign up today. Fucking hell. This probably isn't an inappropriate thing to say.
What were we saying about Dignitas?
Fucking hell. Anyway, I said, if, the tanks are coming, should we kill ourselves? And Jack said, yeah, I'll kill you first. That's what he said. And I said, no. I said, what if you chicken out after you kill me? He said, yeah, that's what I think will happen. Is that okay?
Is he joking about that?
I hope so.
Oh
if
my
not,
God.
play back
I can't
this
believe
tape.
he even said that.
That's
Because
what he said.
the thought of being the one to kill the other one is just too much.
He was like looking forward to it.
Oh, careful.
If I die, you know what happened. No, he was like, and then I said, oh God, it's a bit like Romeo and Juliet. It's not good. But hopefully
Hitler had a suicide pact, and look where that got him.
No, mine can't fall over again.
Wasn't it like the cyanide thing that you bite on?
Yeah, him and his girlfriend, Eva Braun.
Did they both do it?
Yeah, and they killed the dog as well, I think.
No need for that.
I thought it was an animal lover. Apparently not. Jesus, this has gone a bit downhill. Come on. Let's get back up again.
Or has it?
The suicide pack.
This is about going into space, originally.
Yes. Originally it was. Yeah.
It creeps me out. I just think getting back
awful.
is the problem. Going out, not so bad. Getting back, that's the scary bit.
What if you never come back? That's even worse.
Exactly.
What if you never come
Also,
down?
do you think, like, when you go to other planets and that, imagine you come back with, like, a space virus. That could really cause some shit, couldn't it?
We've got enough problems with the
Earth viruses.
COVID virus. We don't need no space virus.
Todrick doesn't want to go. Yeah, Lamar said, when you get there, you plan on... He goes to Todrick, to Todd, when you get there, you plan on getting up the spaceship. Todd's like, yeah. And Lamar goes, he's ill.
And then didn't Todrick go diary or something? Go, he ain't ever going into space. I don't know what he's chatting about. It's like, of course he's not. It's just like theoretic. No, hypothetical.
Oh yeah, he said, it's a silly, stupid.
Yeah,
it's a silly conversation. I don't know why we're having it.
Especially,
Something like that.
well, people have conversations
Well,
like,
what else is there to talk
what if
about?
we won the lottery? What if this? What if that? You're not allowed to have a conversation unless it's grounded in common sense. How boring.
Grounded. Todrick was acting like it was difficult to make nominations. I was like, he's known who he wants to go.
Yeah.
Since like day dot.
Hold on, what? I've got Tom Bridges checking his blood pressure here.
Yeah.
Is this what we're reduced to?
Hang on.
Sorry.
The plan is to put up Todd and Lamar.
Right.
And I just written, there's no jeopardy in this anymore.
No, it's dead, isn't it?
Misha on Cynthia, I think she's been understanding. This is like a bit like Oprah. What is it? Were you silent?
Yeah, oh yeah, or silent.
Were you
or
silent? Or were you silent?
I like Gaz's hand motion he's doing. He says like you're missing.
Were you
that.
silent?
He's doing like a little
air
fingers
rabbit?
together. Yeah, like a little.
That's what she did.
Shadow rabbit.
Were you silent? Or were you silenced? Nisha said about Cynthia, I think she's been understanding even when she didn't understand.
I think she's been understanding. Yeah, I'd agree with that. She's understanding.
She's been understanding of the game.
She's
even though
caring.
She didn't really know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah, she don't know
what
she don't know what day of the week it is.
I've got my tattoo of the week here.
Ooh, Gaz's tattoo of the week.
It's funny that you said I don't know what day of the week it is. That is what a day, what a week, what a month.
Oh,
what a life.
Oh, who said that?
I think Todrick actually. Unfortunately.
I thought your tattoo of the week could have been the thing Lamar said about the losers voting for the winner.
Oh.
Losers shouldn't be voting for the winner. I could see that across your back.
Yes, or along the back of the head. The blood pressure readings. So I don't really understand the blood pressure reading. But apparently,
is this? Why are we getting someone's medical business on the show now?
Well, you've seen Todd in a jumpsuit. He's clearly got some issues and blood pressure problems.
So they were sort of having a competition who's got the worst blood. Oh, who's going to die first of bad blood pressure? Great. At this moment, my boyfriend Jack said, "What a pair these two are." That was about it for the blood pressure section.
Well, I got the readings here.
Go on. Shit.
On one of Lamar's arms, he was 148 over 108.
We don't know what that means, though.
Apparently, it's quite high. And
probably because he's had like 10 heart attacks.
Yeah, and on the other arm, he was 102 over 75.
Oh.
And Todd Bridges called this the cardiovascular casino, which I quite like.
That's
could be
good.
a title.
Oh, we can put that in the description, definitely.
I'd like to know, like, what's a healthy blood pressure?
Yeah, so I know what my beats per minute are, but that's different, I think.
But it's definitely not the same thing.
I know, but I was getting confused over it, and Jack was taking a piss at me.
Should I ask what the average blood pressure is?
Yeah.
Hey Google, what's a healthy blood pressure?
On the website nih.gov, they say, normal blood pressure for most adults is defined as a systolic pressure of less than 120 and a diastolic pressure of less than 80.
Fuck!
Oh!
A little more context.
No thanks. So that means...
Did you hear that, listener?
Hopefully. That means that Lamar's blood pressure was, like, off the charts.
I'm so glad Jack doesn't have one of those things.
Because he'd ask it every day.
He questions every fucking thing I say, especially pronunciation of words. That would...
Hey Google, what's the official name of the band Blink-182?
Here is some information from the web that might possibly help. On the website spin.com, they say, during a revelatory Twitter exchange yesterday, Tom DeLonge explained to late-night host James Corden that his former band Blink-182's name is pronounced Blink-182, rather than the common pronunciation Blink-182, and definitely not Blink-182. According to Corden's co-writer.
What?
That has to be fake. Someone's trolling.
That's blown my fucking mind.
18.2.
Blink 182. Fucking hell, that's
Blink
a mouthful.
18.2.
Wow.
God, it comes back around.
That's blown my mind.
That can't be true.
Podcast
that's
done.
Someone trolling.
That's funny.
Todd just realised that Todrick should have gone years ago. did he say years ago? Is that just me?
I don't know.
Oh, here you go. Todrick started
Weeks ago.
Todrick started going on about Dan Giesling's funeral again.
Oh, God. See, this is the shit that Jack's like, how does Gaz not know about this? I'm like, he hears the name Dan Giesling about once a week, but he still couldn't give a shit. Oh, yeah. Todrick said, watch out, Dan Giesling. Jack said at this point, he isn't fit to say Dan Giesling's name. Honestly,
wow.
Jack's got...
Venom.
Jack's literally in the bath, like going, what about this thing in Big Brother? And has this ever happened in Big Brother? And, oh, but the bit of jury, blah, 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 but shouldn't it be this and shouldn't it be that? I'm like, can you shut the fuck up?
Do you know how often I think about Big Brother? I don't think about it all the time.
It's like, he says things to me like, I don't know. It's like, I have been doing Big Brother, talking about Big Brother for the past 20 years. You come in, fucking 27 years old, talking to me about a fucking Big Brother. Can you shut up?
Minimise him because of his age.
But he starts the conversation with, oh, I know you know this, but, like, that's his, like, you know, way in. And then goes, but what about this thing about Big Brother? I'm like, seriously, can you just shut the fuck up about Big Brother? But I've created this monster.
Well,
so what can I do? Listeners, please talk to Jack about Big Brother so I don't have to talk to him about it anymore. Thank you. Right, then what?
Anyway, basically, he's like, Dan Giesling's legacy is his funeral. Well,
Correct.
You haven't yet seen Todrick's procession.
Oh, God, I forgot about this.
So he came up with his alter ego. Do you remember?
Yeah, what was the alter ego called?
Sarah Mony.
That is actually
For
kind of
ceremony.
funny. That's actually kind of funny.
Well, it was no Zoe Wilberg, I'll tell you that much.
I missed that. That's quite good.
Winberg, sorry.
That could, but that's got the BB on Blast seal of approval.
Ceremony.
Though. Yeah, I like that.
It wasn't bad, I'll give him that. He's been workshopping that since before he got in the house. So, do you want to go into detail about the costume? He was sort of dressed up, didn't he?
I put Todrick has been building this up something rotten.
Even in the intro, they went, "Come, be prepared."
Yeah.
Not be prepared for. They were like,
Something you've
the
never
most
seen.
OTT nomination ceremony known to mankind.
So he was at the top of the stairs, and I can't remember the tune. It was like the HOH has come to seal your fate.
Yeah, something like that.
Quoting Queso there. Go on, talk me through the costume.
No, go ahead. Well, he had the robe,
Yes,
the dressing gown,
that's standard.
and he had some sort of
Tiara?
like maybe a necklace dangling from his head, but
With
it had the
key.
HOH key
That's
on
not
it.
a nice touch.
And he had like a train, which reminded me a little bit of Kamal. Don't let me down, train, bitch, whatever it was.
Were you against this as a concept to bring into the gravitas of the nomination ceremony?
I
Did
actually
you enjoy
wasn't,
it?
because I hate the nomination ceremony and I hate the rigidness of it all. So for someone to really make it their own,
Yeah.
I didn't mind it. It was just that it was Todrick that was making me
Yeah.
sort of like curl up inside internally and be like, I want to enjoy this, but I hate you.
Is it
Hate's
disrespect?
a very strong word. I don't hate him.
You're a bully. Is it disrespectful to the nominees to come and put on a show like this and throw rose petals out when you nominate them?
No, I mean, if anything, it's like a favour to the viewer because it is entertainment. You're there to entertain, play your parts and play them well.
Are you not entertained?
You said that.
So I feel like people were saying it on BB Australia that I was watching.
It sounds like something Queen Victoria would say.
Jack had a comment on this. He said, "Imagine all this going on a normal season of Big Brother."
Well, it wouldn't.
Like the normal seasons, like, you know.
Sacrosanct.
Yeah. More of Jack being very, very serious about the institution of Big Brother.
Well, if you've got a licence to be a bit wild, it's on CBB,
Yeah,
isn't it? Especially with these players that don't know what the fuck's going on.
I wouldn't say I enjoyed it because I don't like Todrick, but I think it was a bit of fun.
It was.
I'm not against it.
But it was really, the kicker for me was when the pink croc came up onto the table.
Oh yeah, he put his leg right out, didn't he?
That was a bit much.
When he was doing his speech, I felt like he was doing.
He was doing a very posh, like English, British voice.
I think he was doing Tyra Banks.
Oh.
You know, on America's Next Top Model, she'd be like, "Oh, you know, the girl who must go." I can't remember what she used to say, but it's not "you'll pack your belongings and leave." But it's like it's like that. I think he was mimicking her, but I could be wrong.
It was a little bit like, actually, I'll tell you what, I think he was channeling a little bit of RuPaul.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
So, I mean, RuPaul is a much more classy being than Todrick, but Sachet You Stay.
Oh yeah,
is kind of.
What's the other one? Something Go Away. No.
Sorry, Shantae You Stay.
Yeah,
Sachet Away. Sorry,
See,
I'm wrong.
I know it better than you.
I know, and I watched that shit. Not the American one, but Shantae You Stay and no. Yeah,
Shantae You Stay,
and
Sachet Away.
RuPaul delivers that in a sachet away. It's very like a sort of soft and sort of what I think they call the mid-Atlantic accent, which is something not quite American, not quite British.
Oh, okay.
And I felt like he was going for that.
Okay.
But also I think, like, as we know, the British accent is innately evil in America. So I feel like to deliver this...
Yeah, there is no British accent.
In a kind of... Well, there are British accents, and they have what they perceive to be a British accent.
Were you silent? Is it the British accent or British accents?
But I think that he was almost giving it a sort of evil queen vibe a little bit too, because if you think about the queen out of Snow White, she wears like a blue robe. She has like a little tiara on.
Oh, we know he likes Disney.
And she has short hair. Yeah, I think he was channeling a bit evil queen as well.
Once again, nothing original coming from Todrick. No. Someone tried to speak and he went, "Silence, peasant." I quite like that.
One of RuPaul's things is before the decision comes, the panel will be talking about the performances and Ru will go, "Silence!" So that was very rude.
He's nicking every fucking thing. Lamar doesn't look very impressed, I've said. He nominated Todd Bridges and Lamar. He said, about Todd Bridges, we share the first syllable of our name and I'm over it. Then he put his leg on the table.
It was all like scabby as well, his leg. Like, a few like scars on it.
Todd Bridges at this point in the diary room said, this silver fox is always on the move.
And Dan said, how can you be a silver fox? You haven't got any hair.
Jack was dying laughing at this. He said, silver fox maybe 30 years ago and not even then.
Well, we've seen him 30 years ago in the picture. He actually looked quite good.
And then Todrick walked off back into the storeroom and he went, crushed it. Crushed it. We were cracking. Oh, I know why we were laughing so much, because we did a bit of one of them edibles again. So this whole thing was even more surreal.
Then when I bet, especially with the whole...
Yeah. And then when he went in the diary room, he crushed it. Like fucking self-proclaimed crushed it. Oh, God.
So anyway, just to clarify, Lamar and Todd were those nominees, right?
Yes.
About Lamar, he said, you've been a troublemaker in this house. Yeah, there you go.
By the way, I was going to start this podcast with something for you, but then we did it on Twitter anyway. Like, oh, so tell me, what's easy?
Oh, yeah. You should have done that. That's a good
I know,
intro.
I was going to start it with, like,
what's more difficult?
Yeah. Like, stop fucking saying this.
Your everyday, your day life, your
being
day
in the
job.
octagon, fighting in the octagon, or winning Big Brother. Like, stop saying... She shoehorned it in so, like...
Do you think that was on the cards?
At the end. It was just like so weird. Just
what
stop.
I find perplexing about Julie is she's been doing this for
20 fucking years.
20 odd years.
Yeah.
More than 20 years, right? Because 24 seasons. I know it's not one a year necessarily.
Yeah, but it has been
there
apart
were
from one.
Two
apart
in
from
one year.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say 23 plus years.
Fuck.
She can't ad-lib it, and she also can't read the teleprompter.
She stutters.
So what the fuck can she do?
At least 3 times an episode she stutters.
With the show this rigid, how does she need a prompter and how does she need a card? Because I know exactly what's going to happen myself.
Yeah.
Before she said it.
Yeah, that's true.
I am sick of the slow panning. I am sick of the accordion music.
What about
I am
the butterflies?
sick
The accordion music's just a one-off.
of the mismatched fonts. No.
No?
That one. It's always there. I'm just tired of all of it. I want a succinct theme. I want new music. I want something that sounds consistent. I want nice fonts. I want a lively presenter.
You're never going to get any of that shit. The calibre of the celebrities that they invited to be on tells you what you need to know. All these fucking 30, 40, 50-somethings.
How do America not go... Look at Canada. Look at the presenting style.
Yeah.
Look at the theming,
no,
the vibe.
There's no Big Brother.
Australia. Look at the competition.
There's no Big Brother without Julie. There's no Big Brother without Julie.
Someone said in my
There's
tweet
no
about
place
getting
like
rid of
home.
Julie.
There's no place like home.
Shout out Todrick. Somebody said it wouldn't be the same without Julie. My response was, that's the point. I want it to be better.
Yeah. And I said, have you seen Arissa?
That's another person.
Yeah. Julie's nothing to do with it, really. Although I do think if they did get rid of Julie and it did change, everyone would hate it. I do. I think that familiarity is like...
Well, you know, it's
like an old pair of slippers, isn't it?
This is... Yes. They stink. And they're worn out of shape. This is the thing. We know the show can continue with a different presenter. Perhaps differently to what you knew, but you will get on with it and you will still embrace it. Like we've had 3 presenters on the main show in the UK.
Yeah. And
never has it affected our enjoyment of the show.
No. Well, slightly it does, and there's always criticism, but the show is the show. The show, as I always say, is the housemates. Everything else is... If they get the casting right, you got a good show. If they don't get the casting right, you ain't got a good show, and it's as simple as that.
I think there's more at foot. Is that
what is more important than the housemates? Nothing.
The structure.
What do you mean?
This structure.
You don't like this structure on CBBUS?
This structure's got to go. It's got to go. The structure's got to go. We can't be having people going, this is the power of veto ceremony, or whatever it is.
Well, Lamar still didn't fucking know.
We can't have it. We can't have the this is the nomination ceremony. We can't have the script.
This
Turn
is
of
a
the
social
King.
experiment. There's 92 cameras in the house.
I don't mind that on the first episode. Fine, ease me in. But don't explain it all to me every week. I can't take it anymore.
You need your hand holding. You need your hand holding.
I don't.
You need a recap of every comp.
I've been watching this shit for too long, and it's not even half of the time it's been on the air, and I already want to break the TV. I can't keep doing it. Please, CBS, spare us.
Come on. Don't let Jack jump in your spot.
Who the fuck decides that shot is going to be that length of time to get from one part of the stage to the other? You know, on the live show, they're always like very slow shots, panning around.
Yeah.
Speed that
Why does
shit
that upset
up.
you so much?
Because we're not
Time is
sitting
money.
here waiting to die. We're young people enjoying a good show. We don't want to sit here
Well,
with these...
youngish.
Well, we're clinging on
Speak
to
for
youth for
yourself.
dear life. You know what I mean? Like, do you remember?
Yeah.
So when
Yeah.
Hollyoaks started on Channel 4,
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
which is the British soap, by the way, they had this thing where they didn't hold a shot for like longer than X amount of
Oh,
seconds
yeah.
because they thought young people didn't have the attention span for long shots. That's how I want them to do Big Brother. Give me a shot which lasts 10 seconds and then cut to something else, cut to something else, cut to something else, cut away from Julie. Let Julie do her link and then shut it off. I don't need to see half the fucking stage in the meantime.
I agree, seeing the stage is useless, but it's funny you say that because on 90 Day Fiancé, my second favourite reality show, they have scenes on it that last for so long. Like, they will have a scene, like, say, between a couple or the couple's family or whatever, lasts about between 5 and 10 minutes, I'd say.
That's long.
It's long, and it feels long, but it's so good. There's something about not cutting away from it and
Dropping
having
you into it.
Yeah, having, like, you're just immersed in that scene for, like, and it works really, really well. But I agree, when it's just padding and shit like that, it don't work. I like it on Big Brother when they have, like, show the long conversations.
Me too.
You'll never see a long conversation on BBUS.
No.
And that's what me and Jack have noticed, because we went from watching BBAU, which is
Where you see
BB
everything.
UK format, and now we're watching BB Canada, which is very, very constricted. Like, we're seeing Tim and Nikki, but barely, especially at the moment, because they're not as bigger players in the game at the moment. They come more into it. But it's like, every time I'm seeing someone on the screen who isn't Tim or Nikki, I'm like, this is a wasted time for me. Like, we should be seeing Tim and Nikki, because they are where the story's at and the entertainment's at, apart from Pax Brothers, obviously. I love Pax Brothers.
I watched a lot of that series live as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great series. It's a bit of a calamity of a series, but it's a great series. And the ending as well is not great. But also, are you sure? But it's a fun series, but the speed of it from going from BBAU, it's just a totally different world. Both are good, but
Canada managed to use this format and for it not to feel long-winded and slow.
yeah, it doesn't feel. Yeah, no, Canada's format is very punchy. Too punchy, like you don't really get to know people as well, but nowhere near as bad as US, which you don't get to know anyone. It's all about the games in BBUS, whereas Canada, they have a bit of room for a bit of a laugh or a bit of a silly bit, or someone getting drunk or someone falling over. Well, they do that any Big Brother. You go over. But Canada has a bit more breathing space, but BBUS is so rigid, you'll never get to know anyone.
It just feels very dated.
It is very, very dated.
And I'm surprised they can keep putting this shit out in this state and it holds an audience.
I think it's because the viewers are older and it's safe.
And it's because people are too deep into it now. They can't give it up.
They can't
don't you think?
escape.
I just think, God, it's utter contempt for the viewers to not make it
they
a
don't
more
even
active show. Make it more fun.
They don't even try, do they? That's
No.
the thing. They don't even try. It's just like, will this do?
And every year, expect the unexpected. Nothing unexpected happens.
No, that's true.
Bring in Rhonda, like 2 weeks before the final. Let her fucking fight out with Misha. That's what I want.
Yeah, in the octagon.
She's in Venice, don't she?
Should we wrap this one up and go to a part 2?
Oh, are we going to do that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think we should, because otherwise it'll be too long, wouldn't it?
I guess so.
Yeah, because
Okay.
we're on 136 already, aren't we?
Okay. I don't know how we're going to do this, listeners. So
Well,
I'm
what-
caught. I didn't expect the unexpected. Like, whoa. Okay. We're wrapping it up here.
Well, otherwise it's going to be 3 fucking hours long,
Yeah.
isn't it? Why are you
What's
acting
our
so
max?
shook about it?
2 hours something. before we get fuck with the file.
And we've still got 2 more episodes left and emails. So.
Okay, well, join us in part 2, where we'll be discussing...
And we're going to talk about Big Brother Canada, in brief.
Oh, briefly. Well, I thought that could be a standalone thing. So
yeah, but
we might
you're tired already, so don't overpromise.
Yeah, but for the Patreon, bring some money in. Giving all shit away. We'll be back in part 2. We're going to discuss the last 2 episodes, the finale, and read your emails.
Don't miss it. It's going to be good.
Yeah, see you on the other side of the next episode. Bye.
Be right back.